Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the new Gems of War Mythic of Ishtara. It is in the Glory Gem Guild and VIP chest for this week only as the exclusive Mythic, and then will be in the drop table with everything else. Do keep in mind, this does not mention event key. Event key for the rest of today, tomorrow, and Sunday will still be Iron Gut, so if you're still looking to get an Iron Gut, you still have a few days for that. Do not try to get this Mythic off it, as it will just give you an Iron Gut if you get the Mythic. But Glory Gem Guild and VIP keys. So everything except gold keys and event keys are the only two it will not drop in. So this thing is pretty lackluster. You probably want to completely ignore it completely. but we will still go show some teams and everything for it. It is very similar to Elemaugrim. It's of course from Dragon's Claw. Itself does damage to all enemies, creates 8 yellows, boosted by blessed allies at a 1-to-1. One very bad thing about this, which we haven't actually tested yet, but I'm pretty sure is still the case as every other thing in the game interacts that way. However, the way that Bless works, unless they have fixed it since then, is the way that priority works with Bless and Submerge. Anything that has a boost ratio for it based on your team ends up doing it in a way where it checks for it after it gets rid of it. So whenever you cast an ability out of Submerge or Bless or similar effects, it will remove the ability from you. However, it doesn't check for the boost ratio prior to doing that, meaning the highest boost ratio you can ever get from this is 3. So you will only be able to ever get a 11 spawn rather than a 12 unless they ever tweak this into the future. So that's going to already make it so he's going to be a little bit less effective than Elemaugrim, which can pretty consistently get a 12 spawn rather than an 11, and is very similar to that troop. Other than that, it has Revered for a little bit extra stats, does have some score reduction, which can be okay, and has 50% chance to bless a random ally when it turns begins, which is pretty bad given that it's mostly a looping troop, and that does not take effect when looping, it just takes effect when turns go by. Has really cool troop art though, and is a red, yellow, purple, competing with things like Infernus as far as that coloration, which I would say Infernus is probably better if you're looking for a troop like this. However, the main troop of comparison, and the one I would advise getting instead, is actually in Soulforge this week, oddly enough as well, for the next few days. If you are looking for a Dragon's Claw Mythic to get 10 plus stars, I would highly advise going Elemaugrim instead. As Impervious, it has a attack reduction, which in PvP can be okay, in other situations not so much, and this is actually synergizes with the fact that it gains or triggers on extra turns, which is generally what you're doing because it does the same premise but for purple. It creates 8 purple and then boosted by burning enemies. This is commonly used by a 4x burner like Infernus or something similar that can easily burn the entire enemy team, and then boom, every single time he'll get 12 gem spawn rather than 11 or lower. So overall, I would say Elemaugrim is the better option. They're both pretty underwhelming in the current state of the game, mostly because Submerge hard counters both of them, and you kind of need to spell on your hero to really even function sometimes against it. However, if you are looking for one or the other for Dragon's Claw Mythic, Elemaugrim is the better option. However, that will not stop us from going and getting it, as it is a troop we do not own, so we shall get it. Last time we got it within 50 gem keys. I highly doubt we're going to get that lucky this time, so let's see how many we burn through. We got really lucky on the last Mythic. We also got lucky this Monday, though I think it is finally time for our luck to run out, because we do not seem to be getting it immediately. It's always the most useless Mythics that take the longest. I don't know why this is. We had a really big issue with Queen of Sin. We also had a pretty big issue of Nisia, things that were like dead content when they released, and still are pretty much to this day, that took us like way too many resources to get. And this Mythic seems to be keeping up with that theme. Oh, also, Spooky Imp is in drop table right now. It is for all of October and November. Yeah, October and November. I think that was right. Because, yeah, Autumn Imp would have been prior. So, yeah, all of October and November. So, Spooky Imp is in drop table. It's pretty useless. However, if you're looking to get more copies of it, he is going to be randomly dropping here and there. If you want to go get a Mythic. Not really much of a point since he's not currently associated to a kingdom, but nonetheless, he is available. Well, looks like we're getting a bunch of junk and no Mythic to go with it. That is very unfortunate. Hopefully we'll end up getting it at some point here. Got Divine Ishpala there, which is pretty good synergy for it. That's one actual benefit that this Mythic has compared to Elemaugrim. Elemaugrim, at least in the current state of the game, does not have any way to mana start beyond 20%, whereas this current Mythic does count as a Dragon Divine, and because it counts as a Divine, it's probably the biggest thing it has going for it. The fact that it counts as a Divine allows it to have, what's it called? The 40% mana start off of Divine Ishpala. So you can end up utilizing that. Unfortunately right here, though, looks like we are burning through a lot of keys with no Mythic. We're already down over 1,000. That's not good to see, but there it is, Ishtara. So, yeah, that's about average, a little bit below average. I think that took us, what, a little over 1,000? Which after getting so lucky on some mythics kind of makes sense. But there it is. Let's go get this thing upgraded and go show it in some teams. But overall, probably pretty useless, but let's go get it up, use it nonetheless, and see what this thing can actually do. I highly doubt it will surprise me, though. But let's go get ourselves a... Actually, I should probably be careful not to use our big orbs. We're going to be needing them soon, now that we need to actually go and craft potentially more power orbs in the near future. We'll go save those bigger oranges, because we're probably going to be needing them. And then we'll go throw the big green on it, and we should be good to go. So now he's all maxed, well, other than metals, of course, which isn't happening anytime soon, that's for sure. Okay, let's go put him into the teams and see what we can do. Where'd it go? There it is. Put it over top of the Infernus placeholder. And Infernus is probably a better troop than it overall, I would say. Infernus has been falling off a little bit, but it is still better than the Mythic that was just added today. Anyways, let's go see what this thing can do. And then there's that little offer thingy. But anyways, let's go and get into some battles. Oh gosh, we're up against Freeze immediately. I'm not sure if we want to immediately dodge this battle or not. I think for the sake of showing it consistently, we will. And then we go straight into a Zugov team, which probably has Freeze as well. Yes, it has Frost Mage. Really? Can we find a non-Freeze team? That'd be great. Let's see. A Divine Web Spinner. It has Frost Mage, though. Gosh. Does anyone want to not run Frost Mage? That'd be great. Seriously, is anyone not running Frost Mage right now? That would be very nice for this video. There we go. That'll work. It has a lot of Empower, but we'll roll with it. Should hopefully be fine. But anyways, first one is utilizing the Divine aspect of this Mythic. It's probably the main thing that you would end up using if you're using this thing rather than Elemaugrim or even at all, is to use the fact that it does indeed count as a Divine, which is going to be pretty useful for mana starting, which the other Elemaugrim cannot end up doing. So right here, he's going to go for purple to yellow. Ideally, we want to end up getting good value for ourselves off of this. I don't think there's any way we could stop him from that one area. I'm trying to see if we can like get a big 4x, 5x anywhere. We got a 4x there. It's not really going to do too much, though. We could try just going straight into a Divine Ishbala, which I think is the game plan here. Oh, he went for the other one first. I was not expecting that. However, that still helps us just as much, so we could work with that. We then throw this down, Divine Ishbala, get everything rolling. As you can see, this is a Divine Ishbala Quillin combo as far as the team is concerned. It also uses Divine Protector, which used to be pretty meta, still is pretty decent in situations. And we're just kind of using that now to... just put it all together since we are using a 4x Divine team. And it does look like we have everything. We currently only have 0 blesses though, so it's only going to do an 8 gem spawn due to lack of bless. However, one thing that can do more blesses is whenever we can, do a Quillin cast, he does have a double bless on his ability. So we can ideally have alignment on this, which I don't believe we currently do. So we'll try getting it. We still don't have alignment on it. Actually, I don't think we have alignment on either of them. Actually, we do. We have Divine Ishbala. Normally, I want to do Quillin, then Divine Ishbala, but we'll go for this. This will give us our double bless. So we could potentially try casting right now if we do not have Divine Ishbala alignment or anything else. However, where did our 2 blesses go? I can't even see it. Let's see. We'll throw that down. We'll get that. We'll go throw down. Did everything just lose its bless? Like everything just end up already activating it, because whenever you take a skull or ability, it will throw your bless off. At this point, it's basically just turning into Divine Ishbala Quillin combo, which is a really good combo. It's the main thing stabilizing this team, of course. And here, we'll go for our double bless. Yeah, one of our blesses went to first slot, so we only have 1 bless left right now. But yeah, it's so hard to keep the blesses compared to keeping the burns. Like, if this was an Elemaugrim team, we'd still have a double burn right now. Whereas, we could barely even hold on to a single bless, because if we cast Divine Ishbala right now, we'll lose it. So you know what? We have 1 bless boost ratio. Let's go cast it. That'll be 9 gem spawn. It does not land an extra turn, which is kind of to be expected. His gem spawn is too low. They need to make his gem spawn at least double based on bless. Like 2 gems per bless instead of 1. And even at that point, it might not be usable. But at least that would make it somewhat more usable than it currently is. As it currently stands, it seems pretty underwhelming. Like, the entire thing carrying this team is Divine Ishbala Quillin combo. Is pretty much this entire team right now. And, oh, I could take in yellow and killed it already. Oh, well, we'll just go kill it with the ability. Might as well. We still have 1 bless in play, so we will get a 9 gem spawn. And with how much yellow is on the board, I'm pretty sure we just landed an extra turn, but it is extremely inconsistent, to say the least. Anyways, next battle. We got a Tina team. Luckily, no freeze, so we'll roll with it. So, we're running here with Jarvise, Alchemist, Ishtara, and the Vanya. Vanya has extra a bless every single time we land an extra turn, so this should probably give us the most amount of blesses. Also, I just realized I haven't changed my metals. We should be running magic for this. specifically all magic or 20% into magic. Given the current situation in that we don't have a mana start now, we will go 20% into a bunch of magic. But generally, if you are running this for whatever reason, you do want to run it primarily into additional magic gain. And if you're not using it with Divine Ishbalo, you probably want to run it with 20% mana starts as well, since there's currently not a dragon mana start, at least in the current state of the game. Though that would be very powerful if it was ever added. Okay, we don't have a +1 on blue right now, I don't believe. No, we don't. Actually, we have a minus on the other color. So, let's take a blue for now still. The minus actually won't matter as long as we surge. And even if we didn't surge, it wouldn't have mattered for full mana. Well, unless we had a +1. But we can go for an explosion right here. This will ideally start to get us rolling, and from there, we'll see where it goes. So unfortunately, we are a little bit short on the mana. I don't really have a take over here, so we're probably just going to have to take a red, get Alchemist going, and hope things work beyond that point. I kind of want to leave that over there because we have a better yellow convert, so I'm actually going to take this, leave everything there, go for a nice big Alchemist, and that should get us rolling. We are going to need to deny out red here. We do have a purple option as well if we do want to go for that. I believe I am going to go for a red, however. So we'll go for that. We have 0 blesses currently. Oh, no, sorry, 1 bless. So we will be able to utilize that for a 9 gem spawn. It does indeed land. Oh, never mind. We do have a bless on first slot, too. So we're actually getting a 10 gem spawn right now. And, of course, he can't end up blessing himself. I wish I could get a bless on him just to kind of show that he can't bless himself, or that it won't end up working. But we'll go for that again. We do land another extra turn. It seems like we keep blessing right over top the troops we already have. Oh, no, we just lost the bless on the one. We got a new bless, but we got rid of the other bless because we got a skull. What a fail. I'm actually going to go for a Jar of Eyes here since we actually already lost that effect, so let's go for that. We don't really have as many yellows. The whole reason I even cast a Jar of Eyes there was to try to cycle yellows onto the board. Didn't quite work, but we still have our 10 spawn, so we'll get that. Okay, so we finally have him with Bless. So now we'll be able to definitively see that it indeed does not work. Or shouldn't. Let's see. I'll find out in a second. I just need to get him back to full mana, and then we'll slowed it down. And as you can see right here, we do have 4 blesses. However, anytime anything acts out of it, we will lose it. So you know what? Let's see if we can try getting a max boost ratio. I'm going to go take that. And now let's slow this down. We have all 4 blesses. As you can see here, every single thing on this team does indeed have a bless on it. So what we're going to do... Oops, I almost clicked quit. We're going to slow it down to glacial pace and see if we get 12 spawn. So I'm not even sure if I'll even be able to count all these that quick. But this is either going to be 11 spawn or 12 spawn. So let's see if we can end up seeing how many we have. So you know what easier way of doing this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's currently 6 yellows on the board. Let's see if it's going to be 17 or 18. If it takes the boost ratio into effect, it will be 18. If it doesn't, it should be 17. So let's just put this in super slow motion and count every yellow on the board then. So, let's see. We're going to need to count very quick once this happens. Oh no, it's not going to spawn them all at once though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And as you can see, it does not take the bless into boost ratio, which we kind of already knew and I mentioned earlier. So as you saw right there, completely ignored the bless that was on him because the order ends up taking off the bless before it checks for the bless. And they still have not fixed that. Hopefully they do at some point. Even if they do, that will not make this thing viable. It will just make it slightly less worse. But as you saw there, we got 11 gem spawn, not a 12, even though he was blessed himself. So yeah, that's the whole thing. That's applicable to every troop that has blessed or similar. We already kind of knew that, but that just confirms it right there. Anyways, we'll fight this one hard team as the final one right here. This is a yellow Ishtara. I would not advise using this for yellow team, but I figured we might as well show it at least one pure color team. You could also probably get away with it on purple. I wouldn't bother for it on red, most likely. But I don't know. You could maybe try for it, but overall, this troop obviously is not really something you'd bother using. Well, let's go and test out this team, see what we can do. We are not... Oh, actually, we are frozen on one thing. Oh, does he have Frost Mage? No, he's just using Sun Spear, which has a freeze at the start, which shouldn't be too big a deal. We can actually go and focus the Zugoff. This team's pretty much just going to be a Rope Dart carry, it looks like. Go, Rope Dart carry. And I will end up moving him there. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to follow up kill. I think our biggest plan here is to try going for a Divinish follow-up. We actually, you know what? I'm just going to kill it with a Rope Dart. We're just going to do it that way. Rope Dart, do all the work. Okay, so we can't take yellow here because we're actually frozen on it, so we can't go for that option. We could technically go for it, just hope it surges. Skull is obviously going to be very ineffective right now. he doesn't actually use yellow right now, so you know what? We're going to go and use Tulia here. The main reason for running Tulio is since we're using a pure yellow team, it does apply its effect to every single thing. Obviously, if they have an anti-yellow troop on yellow day, that might not work as well. However, in a PvP battle where we don't have to worry about that nearly as much, don't necessarily comes into play as a factor. So we'll go for that, get both of those manas back up. We can then go rope dart whatever the next biggest threat is, which is obviously his hero there. Divine Ishbala would ideally have alignment right now. She does not. Of course, we are using Divine Ishbala again for the 40% mana start onto the Mythic in order to ideally get it up a little bit quicker. However, it looks like it is very barely going to do anything other than clean up the final little bit of hit there, and doesn't even matter if it gains an extra turn, as you're just applying the final AoE. And as you can see, it did almost nothing that battle, other than maybe apply a Bless or two that probably also did nothing for the duration of that battle. But anyways, that is the new Mythic. It is about as bad as we thought it was in every way, shape, and form. I would highly advise not getting this Mythic unless you just need it for completionist sake, or if you have almost every Mythic in the game, or if you're looking for a Dragon's Claw Mythic to get it to 10 plus stars and you don't want to get Elemaugrim because you'd rather spend keys rather than diamonds. However, Elemaugrim is available this week if you are looking for a 10-star Dragon's Claw. It is much advised getting Elemaugrim instead if you're looking simply for troop viability. Otherwise, you'd base it based on what resource you want to get rid of, either keys or diamonds. But overall, it is a very bad Mythic, completely dead content, and you will pretty much never use this thing in any situation whatsoever. And that is pretty much the Mythic in a nutshell. But yeah. That's the Mythic. We'll be covering the new faction that ended up coming out on stream today. Probably in about an hour or so after this video goes up, we'll probably have that stream, be covering it for a couple hours, doing pure faction a little bit later this weekend, and, you know, doing all the normal stuff that we would normally do with a faction. So make sure to catch that here on the channel. And other than that, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Best of luck with the Mythic. Hopefully you'll get slightly better luck than I got, as we got a bit below drop rate, but it wasn't too bad. It was a little over 1,000 or so. So it could have been worse. Could have been much better, though. But anyways, guys, we'll catch you later. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Greatly appreciated. Feel free to leave a like on the video. Helps out a lot. And I will catch all of you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.